Hello, FIFA fans. We are here today testing out FIFA 14 Next Gen, and we have Nick Channon with us today, who's the executive producer on Next Gen FIFA. Thank you for being with us today.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
So we've just got a couple of quick questions, some of them coming from the community, a lot of it with regards to the new technology. Everyone's obviously really excited with Next Gen. The first question, this one obviously can apply to current gen as well, but creating a simulation that gives you an authentic football gaming experience is obviously a very big job. How do you go about producing something that's fun and entertaining, but at the same time can be realistic and provides a great sporting simulation?
That's a great question, and I think that's the key to everything that we do is what you've just encapsulated there, which is we want to make the game every year as authentic as we can. We have to balance it out with a fun experience. At the end of the day, we're making video games, making entertainment. So the first things that we look at is each year we look at how do we think we can improve our game, where can we make our innovations. It's looking at all the feedback from you guys, and as I just said before we went on air here, we look at the reviews, we look at what people are saying, especially what you guys are saying on the soccer blog in terms of how we can improve the individual areas of our game. But it's also looking at the technology. It's looking at how can we make innovations. Like Player Impact Engine a couple of years ago made a huge change to the feeling within the game. The physicality around collisions, tactical defending was something that we felt we needed to do to better balance the game. A lot of the feedback we got was the game was imbalanced. It was defending was too powerful. You look at some of the dribbling this year, for example, was looking at all sprinting was too powerful in our game. So we're looking at all these different things, be it innovations, be it game balancing, being what community is saying, what our fans are saying, to create that great balance of a game that is fun to play, but also one that we try and make more authentic. We tightened up the marking this year because we felt it was too loose, which wasn't for us as authentic as football. When you can turn and sprint at the defender, that's just not how sort of modern football is played. So to come back to your point, we need that balance between authenticity and fun, and we take that from lots of factors of how can we innovate, what are the new ideas we would like to put in the game, and what's the feedback we're getting from community and fans.
Fantastic. Second question we have here from the community is with regards to the new Ignite engine. And one of the things that we're saying is obviously there's more complex technology employed in sort of football games these days. With one of the things that a lot of fans want to see is more accurate representation of player models, muscle definition, and things like that. Do you think with the new hardware that's available and the new Ignite engine, you can sort of have more definition of player physique, stature, musculoskeletal modeling, and things like that? Sort of what we see maybe in the movie industry when they sort of 3D representation of sort of human or even monsters, animals, that kind of thing, where it's a 3D generated player model that's more accurate and probably easier for you guys to develop sort of unique ones to particular players.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first thing to remember with a football game is the fact that there's 22 players on the pitch. It makes a huge difference to the detail. Instead of just having maybe one or two characters, we've got, like I say, 22. So you have to balance that out. We want the game. This year we're running at 1080p. We're running at 60 frames a second. Those things have to be balanced. For us, 60 is very important to the feel of the game. To come back to the definition and the detail, we've got a lot more detail, more detail in the modeling on Gen 4. We're able to do obviously a lot more than we've been able to do in the past. We've been able to get a 3D crowd in this year for the first time, which makes a huge difference. But ultimately, this is year one. This is starting out on a new console. It's very exciting. There's challenges, to get games working on the new hardware. But I think, we're incredibly happy with the game we've made with FIFA 14 on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and it's then looking at, okay, how can we continue to harness the great new hardware, to harness the new power and the processing power, the more memory, to continue to develop and innovate. And it's that doesn't change any year from any previous year. We're always looking to do that, but obviously now as we start this next generation of consoles, it gives us more opportunities to improve, especially around quality in those areas.
Fantastic. So in the last generation, we saw a lot of sort of improvements with regards to the AI and how the AI tries to mimic team styles and specific attributes that are unique to players. With this next gen, can we expect sort of down the line more sort of accurate representation of team styles and how players move? Is it possible to maybe sort of one of the things the community always mentions is use maybe heat maps for specific players, sort of like what Opta produces, that follows player movement around the pitch, and maybe use that to kind of influence the AI's behavior, because obviously when you're playing, you're only ever controlling one player, and the AI is determining a lot of what's happening on the pitch. Is that something that we can expect down the line?
Well, I think today we're just focusing on FIFA 14 and the features that we have this year. I think, moving forward, if there's something within the game that we feel will improve it, if there's something to improve the authenticity, to improve variety within our game, we will absolutely look at it. That's what I can say today. Beyond that, we'll leave the future years for then and focus on FIFA 14 right now. But we're always looking at ways to improve. We're always looking at ways to make our game better. And that's kind of what FIFA's been about the last 5 or 6 years, looking at making the best game we can in each year with significant innovation. And again, that won't change moving forward.
Okay, brilliant. One of the things that stood out the most with FIFA 14 is the difference in the shooting with the implementation of Pure Shot. So we saw that in current gen, and a lot of fans are really impressed with the variety of the shots. Is there any differences with the next gen version?
No, I mean, ultimately in that area we have more animations. We have more animation coverage in terms of the shooting. With the more memory and the elite technique feature, we've been able to get more animation coverage, more animation variety in there. So you're going to see things that we won't have seen. The physics system in terms of the ball physics is the same. But what I think is really exciting is the replay cameras. They just make the goals, they make the feeling of scoring just so rewarding. We were really, really happy with how that feature came out this year, that feeling of striking the ball, the movement on the ball, and the dipping, the swerving ball just really changed the feeling, and that sensation of, ultimately the goal there was to make, scoring goals is what football's all about. We wanted to make that feeling, just feel incredible. So on Gen 4, you got more animations, and then secondly, the way we're representing the replays, the way you can look at what you've just done has just been taken to another level with incredibly authentic broadcast cameras. We've got motion blur, and I think, the feedback we've been getting is it just, that feeling of scoring feels great, and then the replays of them just take that part of the game to another level.
Fantastic. One last question. One of the issues that football fans have with football games in general is with regards to player awareness. Now, with the next gen version, we've got this human intelligence aspect. So are we going to see hopefully less instances where players are looking around not knowing where the ball is, or AI is slow to react? Can we expect a more improved experience in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, the human intelligence, the pro instincts that you just mentioned, is a big change to our game. We're now within the game able to do, we're doing about 4 times the processing that we previously did within the physics system. It gives players anticipation awareness. It means that they might not trip over a leg anymore. It means that, previously they might bump into the referee, whereas now they're aware of what's around them. So those things are in there. We've also, on top of that, done work on our defensive coverage as well this year. So the way defenders are tracking runs, covering space, as I said, as has been well documented, we tightened up the marking midfield as well. So it's that combination, it's that anticipation and awareness, much more intelligence around the players on next gen. But we've also done a number of things around, tightening up the defenders, the way defenders cover runs as well. So between those two things, I think, the intelligence, the player intelligence within the game has been significantly improved on Gen 4.
All right, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Nick. We really appreciate it, and we're really looking forward to the final release.
No problem. And again, thank you so much for all your support. We listen to everything you say, and we really do appreciate it.